What's up everyone, my name is Nutsdawson and welcome back to the channel. Now today's video is just about the Modern Warfare beta and my opinions on it. Now let's just start off with the pros. There's not many of them. The only thing I see good about this game so far is the graphics. Like, you know, they're pretty good, not bad. But for the cons, there's a lot of them. For once, the whole issue, even before the beta started, was the minimap. There was no minimap at the start of the beta. They did not want to add a minimap, and they said that everything is designed to play like there isn't a minimap. But honestly, when they added in this minimap, it still doesn't feel like a minimap. It still has like the compass thing on top where it shows where people are shooting. But you know, it's not like Fortnite. It's gonna be like, oh, enemy 212, enemy 212. No one says that in COD. It's not a COD thing. So they should probably just take that out and, you know, add in a traditional mini-map. So yeah, that's probably one improvement I'd like to see. The next thing, this game is just a slow-paced game. Movement's kind of like clunky, and it's just not that fun to move around because of the ADS speeds. The ADS speeds are just awful, and I don't know, it just doesn't encourage people to move around because of that. Like, I don't want to move around because, you know, I don't want to die because someone else is pre-aiming. So yeah, I'm basically only pre-aim now, and yeah, it's kind of boring because reaction times are like taken out. Instead it's just like, what's it called? I don't know what the word is. Anticipating, that's the word. Just anticipating where the enemy will be, and if you anticipate wrong, you're probably dead because you cannot ADS anywhere else. But with the slow ADS speeds come the amount of head glitches in this game. It's so, like, oh, it's awful. But those head glitches come from like the mounting feature that they added in. And I also do not feel like that should be added into Call of Duty. It's more of a Rainbow thing, like peeking corners, and it's, I don't know, the Rainbow thing. This game just reminds me of Rainbow if Rainbow Six Siege like made a respawn. But yeah, that also comes around, like the amount of head glitches and like mounting. That all comes with new style maps. They do not have the 3-lane maps anymore. So, it's COD staples, a 3-lane map. Simple and easy. Like, but no, they gotta change everything up. And I think it's just a bad time to change everything up. Call of Duty just went into franchising. They do not need to, they cannot risk to lose their dedicated fans who play their game. Because if those people aren't gonna watch your game, then how are the new people gonna watch it? Just doesn't make any sense. Also, with, you know, the head glitches, there is a headshot multiplier, and it's very powerful, but there's also a big amount of flinch. Like, if you snipe, the sniping in this game is awful, because if you get shot by anything, you know, you're probably looking like straight at a dude, and now you're like in the air. It's awful. So, I think if there's gonna be a headshot multiplier, or like a big, you know, headshot multiplier, when I say that, it's just like the damage increased to the head, and it's awful. But as I think Crim6 tweeted out, he said that you know, he pointed out the amount of head glitches, and yeah, he agrees that there should be a headshot multiplier because of the head glitches in the game. Now also, new feature, opening and closing doors. That's not a cool, fun feature. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that part either. The guns. Now, there are way too many attachments, and the attachments really don't even do anything. Because if you put on anything like, I don't know, a grip or whatever, it slows down the ADS. You put on or the pistol grip as they call it, which increases the ADS, you lose like recoil control and stuff. It just doesn't make any sense. This isn't Call of Duty, and I don't know, it just does not play. Because like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, what, you could have like 3 max attachments. and they weren't like stupid attachments, you know. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, like I said, the pace of the game is slow because of like the mini-map. Actually, a lot of people said that the pace was slow because of the mini-map, but this game still plays slow. So yeah, the game plays slow because of, you know, these things like the ADS speeds, the head glitches, the mounting. Like, I don't know. The game doesn't feel like Call of Duty. Like I said, it just feels like Rainbow Six Siege if it made a respawn. And respawn, oh, that's even another thing that I even forgot to write down. The spawns in this beta are garbage. Sometimes they'll just spawn right next to someone, and I don't know. Dude was just like, it doesn't make any sense. Fix the spawns. Like, that's another thing I had about, like, you know, they can't even get spawns right on a 3-lane map. Why would they think they'd get it right on like a realistic traditional map? That brings me to another point. When the fan base said that they wanted realistic COD, they did not want Battlefield realistic COD. Because Battlefield is another game in itself, and Call of Duty is a different game. I think of Call of Duty as an arcade shooter, where Battlefield like more realistic. Which why some people like Battlefield more than Call of Duty, because they like the realism. Yeah. But yeah, the respawn animation, all the animations are slow. You call on a chopper gunner, you wait 5 seconds, maybe even more, just to like start shooting. The cruise missile animation, that thing's slow as crap too. And I guess we're on the topic of streaks. You can't even loop your streaks. So if you like get one in UAV, what's that, like 4 kills? Then you cannot get it for the rest of the game. But another thing that popped up early Monday morning was someone proved that there was skill-based matchmaking during the beta, which is just awful. Like, honestly, knowing it now, I can see, like, I can totally recognize it, because some game, it was just so inconsistent, because some games I'd, like, pop out to the party with the gang, and then the other games I just get pooped on. So, like, I can totally see it. But yeah, I don't know. I'll see how they actually do when the game actually releases, and you know, the second half of the beta is starting Thursday again for all platforms. So hopefully, I don't think they can make these big of changes though in like 4 days. I don't even think they can make it in a month time when the game actually releases. So far, what it looks like is that I do not want to play this mod or this multiplayer. I might play the campaign because it actually looks pretty good. I'm not really a big campaign fan, but anything to get worth the 60 bucks. I even thought about switching to Madden because this game just not looking fresh. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this game. Just, they're screwing some things up. So yeah, there's like maybe there's like a minute left in this video, so if you made it this far, slap that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Securing Charlie. Charlie secure. Keep fighting, we got this. Friendly UAV overhead.